Alright, welcome to Timeless Personal Growth and Development. Today we're talking about sharing your emotions, when to and when not to share your emotions. Yes, there are moments where you should not, as an adult, be sharing your emotions. But that's how we live now, is mental health is very trendy. I did a video about this a while back, and it was basically about how mental health has become so trendy that if you don't have any kind of mental health issue, there's something wrong with you. That mental health is completely normalized, completely. Talking about our emotions, talking about our feelings all the time is completely normalized and encouraged. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying it's good to share your emotions, but it depends how, where, when, and who you're doing it with. Because that's what we don't talk about. There's a time and a place to do it and people to do it with. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about sharing your emotions. For one, sharing your emotions over every little thing that happens during the day is not necessary. And as an adult, where you should have a certain degree of emotional control and emotional discipline over yourself, you don't need to be talking about every little emotional feeling throughout your day. You can keep that to yourself. If you have enough emotional discipline, self-control, you can keep that for yourself. You don't need to talk about that. If it's some sort of enormous trauma in your life, that's different. If it's some sort of giant traumatic event that you experience and you can't seem to get past it, that's different. A big loss in your family, big traumatic event that caused you to spiral down and you can't seem to move past it, yes, that's a time to talk about it. But to talk about it with the right people. If you think paying a psychologist for an hour of their time to talk is beneficial for you, then that's great. That's fine. Go and do that. For me personally, I was 18 years old when I saw a psychologist. I thought it was a complete waste of time. Complete waste of my time. Didn't help me with anything. Spending time with my friends, talking to my friends, venting my friends about issues, my friends helping me out was more beneficial. And I saved money. That's just my opinion, that going to a psychologist and sitting on their chair and talking about your feelings for an hour, I think that's just a waste of time. Waste of money. Because yes, they get paid for you talking about your feelings. So a part of them doesn't really want to solve your problem because they get paid for you having problems. They get money for you having problems. And just think about that. If you're sitting on that therapist chair and just talking about your feelings but not taking any action with that talking, then you're wasting your time because you're not actually going to solve the problem. If you have a big traumatic event that you need to solve, if you think being a psychologist is beneficial, then go right ahead and do it. For me, spending time with friends, going for a boat ride, going for a hike, spending time with them, talking is more beneficial, and that's therapy to me. Doing stuff like that is therapy, and it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost anything. But there's a time and a place to do it, to talk about those things. At work, I don't think that's a time and a place to be talking about your issues and your problems, because we're not there to talk about our feelings and our emotions. We're there to do a job. We're there to work. It's okay to have colleagues and friends at work that you confide in, but if that's all you're doing is going to work and complaining and talking about your problems, talking about your feelings all day, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be there to work, and your colleagues and your a supervisor, your boss, they're going to look at it in the same way. You're coming to work and talk about your feelings and complain all the time. Well, then you're not performing, you're not doing your job, you're not being competent. They're not going to look at you as an asset to their business, as an asset to the company. Forget it. I remember doing an internship. This is internship. I was like 17, 18. I was young, super inexperienced of being in the workforce. I remember a supervisor telling another intern that she was having a tough day. She was talking about her problems. I remember the supervisor telling her that when you come into work, you come into your turtle shell. And whatever is going on, put it in the back of your head, forget about it. You'll deal with it later. You come to work, put your turtle shell on, and do your job. When you get home, you can take that shell off, find someone to talk to, and talk. But at work, there's no place and no time at work for that kind of stuff. That's my opinion, that's my call. But you're going to see, if you're someone who wants to disclose everything at work, it's going to affect your performance. It's going to affect how people see you. It's going to affect how people value you as an employee, as a hard worker. It's going to change the dynamic of your job, of your performance at work. You're going to see that. If you're having trouble performing at work because you're having a lot of issues, having a lot of problems, having a lot of difficulty containing that emotional discipline, go see someone. Go talk. But those little incremental emotions, those little feelings like someone cuts you off in traffic and you just get angry and you start honking, you start cussing, like stuff like that you don't need to talk about. You get angry, you honk, you cuss, it passes, all stuff like that. But like any kind of, if you're having like relationship issues, friend issues, family issues, there are people close to you, close personal friends that you can talk to about that. Find one or two people and stick to them. Don't be running around and telling the whole world about your problems, because at the end of the day, the whole world doesn't really care. Their close personal friends will care, and that's what they're there for. Use them for that. There's no place, no business to be able to talk about your feelings all the time. There's a place for it. There's a place, there's a time, there's the right people to do it with. Remember that. On that note, thank you so much for watching, guys. Do me a big favor, like, subscribe, timeless personal growth and development, and I'm going to see you all in the next video. Have a good day.